Hey there, how are you? I think you're on
Good, how
mute.
are you? Very good.
Hey, are you in the kitchen there?
I am. We're in our like our little farm kitchen here.
Super cool. Where are you guys based?
We're based out of Salem, Massachusetts.
Yeah, of course. Love Salem.
Awesome,
Very
awesome.
cool.
Obviously, you're one of the residents taking the class.
I am not one of the residents. I'm Ben. I'm from Kobu, so we're like the
Oh,
software
sweet.
platform that the.
Are you are you the CEO?
I am the CEO.
Awesome.
Yes,
Awesome. Nice to meet you.
yes. Yeah, great to meet you. Excited for the class.
Excellent. Very good.
I hear you guys make the best fermented pickles in town.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, we try.
Do you guys sell them anywhere or no?
Yeah, so most of our business was food service up until
Okay,
now. We have something called Barn to Door, which is direct to consumer.
cool.
We do a farmers market here in Salem, but we're working on shipping. So because of COVID,
Yeah,
we're now going into retail. So you'll probably find it a little more available where you guys are at, a little more
that's
metro.
awesome. Yeah, I've been using this cool company to order like cool local goods. Obviously, supporting as many local businesses as I can.
Awesome.
It's called Metrobi. I just ordered like hot sauce from where is it from, like Waltham or something like that.
Oh, nice.
So I'm excited about it.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
very cool.
So do you know how many people ended up signing up?
I think it was about 15,
Okay.
and I know the last class that. So for context, it's the Eisenberg team is like the creative, awesome team with
Yep.
the local partnerships. We're just helping them kind of on the technical side to make sure things happen. And Kobo as a business, if you know, is the name stands for community building. Like we just help these apartment buildings build strong community through our tool.
Okay.
Think of it as like a foodie group or a running group or a young parent group, something like that. We typically don't attend the events, but I was
Yeah.
really excited about this. I was really excited about the experience, and I want to, make sure that that we're teeing up the best opportunity for you. So
Awesome.
yeah, but
Perfect.
Eisenberg's they're the one that like does the event and like hosts
Yeah.
and everything. We're just supporting them kind of as like good
Yeah.
friends.
I love Eisenbergs. They do a good job. They're very
Yeah.
creative, and we love working with them.
Yes, Emily's great, and it's an awesome team
Yeah.
there. So we're excited to
Yeah.
partner with them at this building. So yeah, I was going to say, in the last experience, I know there were kind of fewer people who showed up relative to the like the number of RSVPs. So I would say
Okay.
expect anywhere between maybe 5 and 15, realistically
Yeah.
speaking.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. Sounds good.
Yep. Yeah.
All right. So I guess it starts at 6, right?
It starts at 6. Yeah, we're here early, and we'll
Awesome.
send the recording. There was a resident who really wanted to see. I think it was
Okay.
Emily who really wanted to see it, so we'll send her the recording. I think the meal kits, I believe, the ingredient kits were delivered earlier today. I saw the email
Yep.
between someone on your team, and was that you on your team or somebody else?
It was someone else on my team.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. And you're Jet.
So I'm Andy, but Jet's my son. So he uses Zoom for school. So I'm like, I
Got it.
actually trying to think if I can change this. I
I
forget.
think you can actually.
Oh, rename. Here we go.
Yeah, there you
I got it. Awesome.
go. Maybe say like your name and Maitland or something like that.
Yeah. Excellent. All right. Okay, sweet. Much
Cool.
better.
That's awesome.
All right. Deal.
Nice. Yeah, our head of customer success, Melissa, is from I believe she's from Salem. So
Okay.
she'll be
Nice.
pumped by it.
And
I think she's also she pickles a lot of items as well. So
Okay.
you'd love this. I'll
Are
send you
you-
the recording.
Great. Are you guys based out of Massachusetts?
Yeah, we're based here in Boston.
Sweet.
I mean, now we're all over with remote.
Yeah.
We've got team members in Newburyport, Duxbury, Burlington, all over. But yes, we are local Boston.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Excellent.
It's been fun. Crazy past few months. I'm curious, like what's happened to you guys? Like what have you seen?
As far as
Just like COVID impact. I mean, I'm sure.
Oh, man, I mean, for us, like we were mainly relying on restaurants, so it was a huge change for us. And basically, everyone we work with they're just in shambles. They're just trying to figure out what do we do? Where do we go from here? It's just because no one really knows. And Massachusetts got hit so hard, and now everyone's like, they're aching to get open again. But it's like we really don't know what's going to happen if we do that too soon. And it's like, but at this point with the riots, I mean, it's a crapshoot, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry to hear that. Hopefully, I mean, has the direct to consumer, barn to table been helpful?
It's been helpful. It definitely, we can't replace the 10 years of business we were doing, but slowly but surely, and we're not complainers. We're like, you know what, this is what it is.
Yeah.
We just have to figure it out,
Yeah, I admire that.
I mean, what else are you gonna do? Complain,
Yeah, you have to adapt completely.
Exactly.
A lot of what we did as a business was like software to build people like human interactions. Like you'd be in the building or like something like that, or like people would be in a cooking club together. And obviously that's not happening these days. We're doing a lot of things in this environment on Zoom.
Yeah. Hopefully hopefully in a year it'll all come back to being normal. I hope so.
Yeah. I'm curious, have you done a lot of these types of experiences before?
No, I haven't. Like,
is this
honestly, this is the first one as far as like a Zoom class. But even Zoom, like I've only been doing the last 2 months, and I'm like, every time you do it, it gets a little easier, but it's definitely interesting.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, that's awesome. In terms of this class, like I'm just going to introduce, residents to each other. We'll probably do a quick round of names, like what their favorite.
Okay.
Their favorite thing about Cambridge or something like that, Central Square, is something easy. It's a pretty new building for context. A lot of the residents are just a few months in, if not less.
Oh, wow. Okay.
This building is right near, it's literally in the heart of Central Square. It's right near the McDonald's there, or the Thelonious Monkfish, if you know.
Okay. Yeah, my team member told me, he's like, wow, this place is ridiculously amazing. And
yeah, it's a great community. And so I'll just kind of introduce the building, each other. I'll say, hey, this is Gobu. We build community. We're excited for a bunch more events to come.
Awesome.
And I'll do a quick round of names, and then I'll tee you up. I'll say, this is Andy from Maitland. Has a bunch of great creations to show to you, and then the show will be yours. Everything's all you. And then at the end, I'll just encourage residents to. We'll probably do a group photo. So, all the people, like, I guess, will it be holding a jar, or what's the best thing?
Yeah, at the end, it'll be holding a jar, or probably, depending on timeline, because it takes a little while to sit.
Yeah.
It might be in like a non-metallic container. They might be like showing like my kimchi,
That's cool. Okay, cool. So we'll probably do that, and then we'll encourage residents to like post it, to social and to the Kobo app, just to like showcase their cool creations.
Awesome.
So pretty simple from there. Trying to think if there's anything else. I'm sure some will join early. I'm sure some will join late. So for the ones that join late, if they're joining kind of during your part, just maybe give them a quick hello.
Yeah.
Just try to encourage residents, if you think it's appropriate and helpful for you, just to like put their video on, just so like you can like see what they're doing, and it makes it a little more interactive. Okay. And we find like with a lot of these Zoom experiences, just like making them interactive, asking questions, pulling people in, it's much more fun.
Okay. Sounds good.
If you're able to, just like, quick notes like, hey, like, Catherine, how you doing? Or hey, John, like.
Awesome. All right. Yeah, because I mean, for the most part, there's probably going to be a lot of questions about the process going into the next couple of weeks.
Of course. Yeah. And it's great when like residents can like answer each other's questions and things like that.
Yeah.
I'm sure there will be some that come on the chat tab on the right. I'll just read those questions out to you if it's helpful. I'll probably stay on the entire time. And, if there are any technical difficulties, I'll try to support on that.
Okay. And then how long was this class supposed to be? Was it an hour?
That's more of an Eisenberg question. I assume it was an hour. Let me double check what. Actually, we don't have the email, so we don't.
Josh just told me I think it's 30 minutes.
Is it 30 minutes? Okay.
I think so. I mean, that's going to be plenty of time. Okay, you did.
Okay. Cool. Yes. Yeah. It doesn't say the time of it, but yeah, whatever it is. Then I would say we probably want to keep the link live after, just so people can like interact, and like if they want to talk to each other, that's cool.
Yeah. Okay. Gallery view. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I think I can see most of my screen here. What's up? Yeah, so I'll be able to see what I got going on. Alrighty, awesome. Yeah, you just want to park the track there. Bring it up. Yeah, just leave it up when you park it. Yeah, don't even put it down. Yeah, awesome. Thanks, man.
So what will residents be creating exactly?
So we're doing a Korean kimchi.
Okay.
So basically, Napa cabbage, sea salt, Fresno chilies, garlic, ginger. Basically, like this is one of the easiest things to start fermenting,
Cool.
and one of probably the most versatile things you can use. So I think people will be surprised how easy it is to actually make this.
Very cool. Yep.
So yeah.
I'm excited about that. And
Yeah,
did residents get all of the ingredients, or was there anything they had to bring themselves?
No, all they need is a knife and a cutting board, and that's it. Everything else is with them.
Even
like
the jar, even the jar and everything that you guys gave them.
The jars in there too, airlock, everything. So
Awesome.
hopefully, and we ended up grinding up all the material because I'm like, if people have to like chop Fresno chilies and do this, they're probably gonna be like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, that makes a lot of
So
sense.
all you have to do is chop Napa and then salt it, and then we open up to questions while it's pulling the moisture out.
Cool.
And then from there, we add the flavorings, and then from there we start packing it, and that's it.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it's gonna be.
Definitely.
I bet you they're gonna be. Wow, this is so easy. I should be fermenting more.
Yeah, there you go. That's the hope, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. Yeah, kimchi's great. It's also super expensive when you buy it in the supermarket.
Yeah.
It's not cheap.
No, and I think it might be because of that fermentation timeline.
Oh, makes sense. Okay.
Because people have to sit. I mean, these companies have to sit on it for a couple months and then sell it. But I mean, other than that, it's just, dude, it's just a staple in most homes around the world. Yeah. Let's make it a staple for everyone else. So
Great. And there are a lot of like health benefits of fermentation, right?
Oh yeah, probiotics.
Yeah.
Right. It's easier to eat more vegetables when they're fermented.
Totally.
Because they're broken down, they're more bioavailable. So yeah, always a benefit.
I grew up not too far from the New York area, so I love me a good fermented half sour pickle.
Yeah, we love making those. They're so finicky to make, man. It's just,
Are they really? Are they hard?
It's the most finicky product we make.
Why is that? Is it just like a timing thing?
It's temperature. Like if your temperature is not constant and you have a spike, a lot of times it ferments too quickly and they'll go bad. They'll literally go rancid. And if you don't have like really nice fresh cucumbers, same thing. They'll literally rot before they start to ferment.
What's the difference between a half sour and a full sour in terms of
the
process?
salt content?
Got it. So full sour is a lot more.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's not that much more salty, but it's more fermented.
Got it.
And we make our half sour is actually a full sour.
Got it.
We just call it a half sour because a lot of people are like, "Whoa, I don't know what full sour is." You're like, it's literally the same thing, just fermented a little longer. So
yeah, the difference I know between the two is like one is like kind of like soft a little bit, and one is like crispy.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's because the half sour really is like half fermented basically, where it's still fresh.
Yeah,
that's
like, you get that like an old-fashioned deli.
Exactly.
Like a pastrami sandwich. It's the best in the world.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I love that. How'd you get into the fermentation kind of side?
We started with pickling, and then we ended up becoming something that we just wanted to get into, and we started getting into it, and it just kind of started, like the trend over the last 5-6 years started really jumping up here, and we're like, you know what, this is something we've always wanted to do. Makes a lot of sense. It's healthier. It stores better, longer. So yeah, all benefits. That's when we did it.
That's great.
I think I might be the first one.
Hey there, Christina. How are you?
Hi. Good.
Great to see you.
I'm gonna put it so I can like see you guys while I'm in my kitchen.
That's awesome.
Patrick here too. So.
Christina, did you get the ingredients from Maitland?
I did. I'm so excited. It's like a full cabbage or lettuce. I'll get the.
Hello.
Hey there. How are you?
Well, how are you guys doing?
Very good.
I missed your name. What was your name?
Patrick.
Patrick. Great to meet you. I'm Ben, and this is Andy.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
So exciting. This is so funny.
Have you guys been to?
Are registered for tonight?
I think it's like about 10 or so, give or take.
Oh, nice. That'll be.
Yeah, it should be a smaller, more intimate class. You can ask a bunch of questions.
Yeah.
Great.
It's somewhere between 5 and 15, so we're not really sure.
Perfect.
In the Kobo app, I think there were like 15, but you never know who's coming and who has plus ones.
Perfect.
Hey there, Tanvir. How are you?
Doing well. How are you?
Doing well.
Awesome. How you doing, Tanvir?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good.
And Christine and Patrick, have you guys been to any of the other events through the Kobo app recently?
We did some painting.
Yeah, the
Oh, cool.
painting ones, like the Boston skyline
That's awesome.
and the skulls. Yeah, that was right when we moved in, so it was like funny because it was like all boxes in the background and everyone. It was super obvious we had just moved in.
That's great. Hey there, how are you? Is that Miranda?
Hey. Hi, how's it
Hey
going?
Miranda, how are you?
Doing all right.
We got Andy, Patrick, Christina, and Tanvir. Hey there, how are you guys? Did everybody get their head of lettuce and other ingredients from Maitland? That's awesome.
Awesome.
That is a huge lettuce there, Patrick.
Yeah.
It was pretty good.
That's awesome. Hi there, Libby, how are you?
Great. Hello.
Hi.
How we doing?
Hope everybody's excited for some kimchi. I'm curious, how did everybody learn about the event? Was it through the app, through like a flyer, an email?
I think the app for me.
Got it. Yeah, okay.
I think we got an email.
Got it, email too.
All right.
We'll probably get started a little bit closer, like 6:04, right, Andy?
Cool.
Something like that,
Sounds
6:04,
good.
6:05.
Sounds good.
I think we've got mostly everybody here, so it'll be an intimate group, and we'll have a lot of questions for the expert Andy.
Awesome.
Hey there, Nardos, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Doing well.
Thank
And
you.
Andy here from Maitland and a bunch of your neighbors as well.
Hi.
Hello.
Has anyone on the phone made kimchi before? Is this like first time?
First time.
I tried once long time ago.
Awesome.
Nice. Well, Andy told me it's not crazy hard, so I'm excited to learn as well.
Good.
I'm Korean, but I never made a kimchi by myself.
Oh, nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, this is the first time.
Awesome. I think you're going to be surprised how easy it is.
That's awesome. Awesome. And if everyone is able to put their video on, it'll be much more fun. But if you're not, totally cool as well. Cool. We'll give people one more minute and then we'll get started. Patrick, those are massive, massive. Those are awesome.
It's like bigger than our actual heads. Like these heads.
Andy, did you guys grow those?
These ones are coming out of Western Mass. We have a crop coming out probably in about 6 weeks.
Awesome. Sweet. All right, guys, it's 6:04. Let's get started. First off, thanks for everyone being here. Thanks, Andy, for hosting this. For all of you that don't know me, I'm Ben from Kobu. Kobu stands for Community Building. We're the software in the building that helps you guys be a part of a really strong community. So having and helping folks like Andy and the team from Graystar on site kind of host better events, as well as enabling you guys to create interest groups around things that you guys love to do. So whether it be cooking, like today, running, volunteering, knitting, etc. Really depends on what you want. You can create anything. We're here to support you guys. Rod is your virtual community manager in the building. He's a real person, and he's really excited to meet more of you. And yeah, Kobo as a business, it stands for community building. So we're excited to help Market Central do that, and love any ideas and open feedback from you guys on how to make the experience better. So feel free to shoot me an email at ben@livekobu. And we're here. So I guess without further ado, let's do a quick round of names, and then Andy will kick us off. And I would say maybe if you can share your favorite restaurant or local business in the Central Square area, if you know any. If you don't, totally fine. I can start off. So Ben, the founder of Kobu, and my favorite local business in the Central Square area is probably Thelonious Monkfish. It's an awesome restaurant. And I'll go directly next to me. That's Christina and Patrick.
Hi, I'm Christina. My favorite, I gotta be his favorite too, is Life Alive, but we do love Thelonious Monkfish as well. Life Alive has just like really great, I think we probably get food from there like once a week.
Nice. Yeah. Awesome. I think next is Miranda, and then hey, how are you? We're just going to doing a round of names.
We actually recently tried Life Alive, and next on the list is Thelonious Monkfish.
There you go.
Yeah, I think that might be our Friday home dinner date spot. So yeah, we don't have a favorite beyond that, but
awesome.
Yeah, it's new still.
Awesome. Devanshi, you want to go next?
Yeah, so I'm Devanshi. This is Andrew. We really like Life Live. We go there a lot. Tuscanini used to be really close to where we are now. It's not anymore, but that was a favorite of ours. And it's coming back, I think. It's supposed to come back this summer, but it might be later now.
It's awesome ice cream. Awesome. Let's go next to Akanshka.
Hi, I'm Akanksha. I'm new here, so I have not explored the Central Square that much, but I think I like Little Donkey. Yeah.
Yes. Awesome. They make like small appetizers, right? It's a great spot. Awesome. Let's next go to Giyoung.
Hi, I'm Jiyoung. My favorite was automatic, but I think it's closed because of the COVID. So yeah, it's gone.
Thanks for sharing. Ari, you want to go next? Yeah, I think you're on mute. Oh, you're good. Ooh, I think your audio might not be working, but
yeah.
Oh, you're good now. Now you're good.
Oh, good. Can you hear? Yeah.
Yes, you're good.
Hi, my name is Sarah, and what is this? I'm sorry.
It's like your favorite restaurant or type of food.
Favorite is whatever. I'm from Korea, so I really like to eat Korean food or Asian food. Yeah, any kind of food I like. Yeah, and today I really looking forward to making some kimchi. Yeah.
Awesome.
So yeah, nice to meet you.
Great to meet you. Tanvir, you want to go next?
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Tanvir. I just moved here 4 days ago, so I don't know much about the Central Square food scene. I will say I've been to H Mart. I love it as a grocery store. So I guess my vote for now would be that. Apart from that, Cambridge, there's this Colombian place called Orinoco in Harvard Square. I really like that place, so I would recommend that if anyone's into that.
Getting hungry right now. That's amazing. Livy, do you want to go next?
Sure. Yeah. So I'm Libby. Life Live is definitely my favorite place in Central, but the seared avocado at Whole Hearts Provision is definitely a favorite as well. So I recommend that.
Good choice. Lots of great bowls there. And then Nardos, do you want to top us off?
Yes. My two favorites in Cambridge, not in Central Square, one is Ethiopian Sugar Ethiopian restaurant in Porter Square.
Awesome.
And the next one is Mulan Taiwanese on Broadway Street.
That's awesome. Got to try that. That sounds great.
Okay.
Awesome. Andy, well, I'm going to pass it over to you, the expert. And then, yeah, if anyone could put their videos on, it'll be much more interactive and fun for Andy. But if you can't, totally cool as well. Andy, giving it to you.
Excellent. Awesome. Thank you, everyone, for having me here. My name is Andy Varela. I co-own and operate Maitland Mountain Farm with my wife, Holly Maitland, here in Salem, Massachusetts. We are one of Massachusetts' smallest farms. We operate in 2.5 acres. We grow everything from lettuce, tomato, eggplant, peppers, cucumbers for our pickle production, and cabbage. Maybe some of you have seen, but a lot of our business is our pickle products. Mostly they were for the food service industry. So a lot of restaurants in Metro Boston were using our pickles. Legal Seafoods was using our kimchi up until they shut down all their locations as well. So what we're going to be doing is showing you Holly's recipe, my wife. And this is what we feel as is most traditional in honoring and respecting the Korean culture as far as making kimchi the correct way, where we're truly fermenting it. As you have probably seen in the grocery store, a lot of kimchi aren't fully fermented. They do what you call a hot fermentation, where they ferment it at about 80 degrees for about 3 days, and then they immediately pack it and then send it to either the grocery store or the end user. So what we're going to be doing today is making a fermented Korean kimchi that we're going to be fermenting for at least 10 days. And this is going to be done on your counter. The ideal temperature for kimchi is between 60 and 70 degrees. So obviously your home is a perfect environment for that. And we're just looking, when you do place this kimchi container somewhere, just don't put it on your window in full sun. Other than that, it can be on your counter. It can be in the corner. It can be in a dark place. You just want to make sure that temperature is consistent through the 10 to 14 days. The great thing about kimchi is, or anything fermented, it's really up to you how long you want to ferment it. The longer you ferment this kimchi or any kind of ferment, the more sour it's going to become and the more stable it's going to become. But if you guys are going to be fermenting for at least 10 days on your counter, this kimchi you're making today, after those 10 days, you can put in your fridge. It'll be good for 9 months to 12 months in your fridge. So at that point, it's very stable. You can always pull it back out to re-ferment it if you want some more acid. So going forward, we're going to pull out everything in our box here in our kit. So I'll start with, so this is going to be your airlock with your, so what we're going to be doing is we have your jar that we're going to put everything in. For now, what we're going to do, you're going to take the jar, the top that came with it, you're going to put it aside. You're going to probably be using this after fermentation has been completed. So for fermentation, we're going to be using the airlock. As you can see, this guy, we put the airlock in there for you, and the airlock. So basically, put in like this. It comes with a gasket that's going to go on the inside. So we can basically take that, put it aside for later, but that's ready to go. So we have our jar. We'll put that aside as well. Everyone can give it just a quick wash with warm water is great, just to make sure there's any dust, get it out of there. Next in our kit, we'll pull out our ingredients. So to start, what we have, pull this out here. All right, so what we're going to start out with is we have our salt. So this is going to be the first ingredient we're going to use. So you can put that immediately on your station for now. And then we have our garlic, ginger. We have our Fresno chilies. So we've ground everything up for you guys to make it really easy. So for today, all you're going to need is a cutting board, a knife, and a non-metallic container that you can use once we cut our cabbage and put it in there. So that's it for now. The most important thing we have is our last ingredient. And this is what truly makes it Korean kimchi. These are imported chili flakes called gochugaru, and this comes from Korea. This is what actually makes it taste like real kimchi. It gives it that body. So basically what it is, it's ground up chili flakes, and they've de-seeded it. So what you get is like a very bold flavor of chilies without that, heat from the actual seeds. So we'll put that aside for now as well. All right, so to get started, obviously the main thing we have here is our cabbage. So everyone pull that out. you can just give it a quick rinse on the outside in the sink, and then we'll start cutting it. Let me pull this out here. And the great thing about kimchi is we're going to use the whole cabbage, the green, the white, everything but the stem we're using. So I'm going to go ahead and wash this. All right. Cool. All right. Excellent. I'll let everyone kind of get going here with their cabbage. I'll wait a second here. Awesome. All right. Everyone's in a good spot? Awesome. All right. So what we're going to do is, here's the thing. Before I cut it, there's really no right or wrong way to do this. What you guys could do is you can keep it whole like this if you want to. You can rip it like this. You can cut it. We like to cut it in inch chunks. It just incorporates a lot easier. It's easier to work with, and it breaks down a lot easier. So what I usually do, I'll show you the technique we use with the cabbage to get the core out. Basically, you're going to chop it right in half, as you can see here. Once you chop it in half, you're going to see you have the core, which is right here. So this is the only part we're not going to use on the Napa cabbage. So once we cut that out, what I do is like a triangle cut. I wish I could show you here. Boom, like this. Another triangle cut. Basically trying to save as much of the cabbage as possible. Once you do the triangle cut, you can see, you can just pull this right out, and that's it. So that's the only part we're not using. So once you've kind of do that, I'll give people a second, and we'll start with the next step. All right, core out. Excellent. All right, excellent. Everyone doing? All right, so go ahead and cut your cabbage. What I usually do is from here, I cut right down the middle of the half like this. And then from there, I cut it into inch chunks. And you want to keep it thicker than anything, because once we start to ferment it, it's going to break down and it's going to condense into small pieces. So once you cut it up, you're going to put it in your non-metallic container. Every single little piece. And at this point, we're just making sure there's no like rotten pieces of cabbage. Literally, like if it's bruised, that's fine. We just don't want to use any rotten pieces. All right. Put this up here. All right. Excellent. All right. I'll wait a second, let everyone cut their Napa, and then we'll move on to the next step.
Andy, I have a silly question. Why is it called Napa cabbage? Is it anything to do with where it's from?
No, actually it doesn't. I believe, I really don't know why, but I think Napa, it's a type of brassica, which it's almost like it comes in the kale variety. I'm trying to think why. Honestly, don't know. I should find out.
Sounds very fancy whenever you see it on the menu.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, ooh, Napa cabbage. It's a very, and that's the thing. It's just only a succulent, very watery cabbage. The other thing to note about Napa cabbage, in contrast to a traditional green cabbage that has a little more fiber to it, when you can bruise this stuff really easily. So when you do mix, you don't want to mash. You want to kind of fold everything in. You want to be gentle with it, because what will happen is if you do break the cell wall with your hands, in about a week or so, once it ferments, it's going to get even softer and almost mushy. So if you don't want mushy kimchi, you really want to be careful in how you handle the Napa when we start folding everything in. All right. So it looks like I'll give everyone another second here. Good work, guys. looking good. All right. Does anyone have any questions about fermentation while we're all cutting? Awesome. I think we're good. I just want to let everyone know what we're doing here with the Korean kimchi. This is basically a guideline to fermenting anything. So once you follow this recipe, you'll see that this is, going to be the ratio of flavorings to get the profile that we want to give you guys to what our kimchi is. But when it really comes down to what you want to do in your own preference on what you want to eat, the only thing that's truly important about fermentation is the salt content. So when it comes to salt in fermenting, you really want between a 2.5 and 3% by weight ratio of salt to solid material. That's literally like the one guideline you want to follow. Because obviously if something's too salty, you're not gonna be able to eat it. And if it's undersalted, it's gonna be bland. So when it comes to the safety of fermenting, you technically can ferment without salt. We don't advise it, but when it's literally, when it comes to safety, it's not, you don't have, if you feel like you don't have enough salt, you don't have to be worried that it might be rancid or it might go bad. So that's not an issue. All right, so I think we'll get started in about 30 seconds here, the next step. Excellent. All right. Good deal. All right. Awesome. All right. So our next step here, everyone's got their Napa all cut up the way you want it in your preference. You're going to grab your salt that we've weighed out for you guys according to how much Napa you have. So this is going to be correct for you guys the first time around. So this is a 2.5% ratio of salt for what we have here in the Napa. So go ahead and you're going to put your salt in, and you're basically going to salt your Napa. You pour it right over the top. And what you're going to do is you're going to basically fold in your salt. You want the salt to hit kind of every piece of Napa. And what that's going to start doing is breaking down basically the water in the Napa, and it's going to start pulling the moisture out of the vegetables itself. So when you grab it, you want to be somewhat gentle, but you don't have to be like, you don't have to treat it like a baby. You can kind of mess with it a little bit. The great thing about this too is the more you handle it with your hands, since your body temperature is around 98.6 degrees, it will warm up the cabbage, kind of helping start the breakdown of the moisture. So the more you touch it, the better, the longer, or the quicker it'll break down. So we're gonna mix for at least about a minute here and just incorporate everything. And I'm sure as everyone's seen that their Napa is changing color, it's getting darker, it starts to feel wet, so the moisture is really starting to be pulled out really quickly here. Okay. Here. All right. So I'm sure as everyone is seeing with their Napa, you can start seeing it change color. That salt's really starting to work and break everything down here. Really nice. So the rule of thumb for this Napa and breaking it down with the salt is more than likely it takes around 30 minutes for the salt to really pull out the moisture. But we don't really have to wait that long. What the contender of waiting is going to be is this jar, it's not going to all fit at one time right now just because it's already breaking down. So more than likely, all of this Napa you see is going to fit in this tiny jar once we stuff it. But that's going to be within time. But once everyone's, so let's see, everyone's kind of mixed their salt. Everyone feels pretty good that it's breaking down. Good? Awesome. All right. So next step, we're going to take all of our other ingredients and we're going to put it right into the batch here. Goju-garu. We got our Fresno. You get all of it. Ginger. And then our garlic. So these are literally equal parts: garlic, ginger, Fresno, for the wet ingredients. And this kind of gives like a nice balanced flavor profile on this kimchi here. So once you got it all in there, just start mixing it.
It smells so good.
I know, it smells really good, huh? And at this point, you can eat it. What you kind of do want to eat it. What you're gonna find is you're gonna be tasting it, and it's gonna taste a little saltier than maybe you're comfortable with, which is fine because what it's gonna do is it's gonna all incorporate eventually once everything breaks down. But you want your kimchi to be a little salty. But I definitely want you guys to taste it now, so you can kind of see the progression from when you start to make it to a week from now to 2 weeks down the line.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing.
It's good, right?
It's so good. I'm just gonna eat it all now.
And what you'll find is and discover is that tasting it now to when it's fermented, it really gets a more complex flavor when you let it sit for a couple weeks. It literally, the garlic will change into this unique flavor, like as of everything. It's that's why we fell in love with fermentation, because when you start it and what you end up with, it's really unique and interesting and complex as a profile. So as you can see, there's probably moisture at the bottom of your bowl at this point. Kind of feel it, nice and wet.
I have a quick question. Do we add the dried chili as well right now?
Yes. Yep. All the ingredients you have in your kit. Toss. All right. Cool. Excellent. All right. So I'll give you people about 10 seconds to kind of get everything going. Next thing we're going to need is our core container, or our Yep, our ball jar, 32 ounce. All right. Excellent. All right, so at this point, you can slowly start packing your container here. What we're looking for is to basically get all the air pockets out of it, and that's going to make obviously more room for the cabbage. What's going to start happening the next couple days is there's going to be a buildup of CO2, and what's going to do, it's going to start pushing all of the material up. What you'll find is all your moisture will start to heave up towards the surface, and what you're going to want to do is continue to push it down. So it's gonna force itself up with the gas. So everyone just start packing your jar as much as you can. So once I get it halfway full, I just take my 2 fingers and start really packing. So you don't want to like fill it up and pack it. You want to fill it halfway. Try to get all, as you can see, those air bubbles out. As you can see it kind of bubbling up here. So really just push hard, and you can see it come up here. Just keep working it. Anyone have any questions? Everyone's feeling pretty good?
This is so good. I'm like gonna eat it all right now.
Here's the thing. You're gonna probably have about 2 cups extra of this material, so there's definitely gonna be enough to eat for tonight for sure.
So it's okay to push it down. You said before, like, be kind of gentle with it, but
Yeah.
now it doesn't matter as much.
So yeah, at this point, you're pressing on so much of it that it's kind of like holding itself up. So yes, you can definitely press. You know, we might lose a couple pieces to being soft, but that's not really an issue. It's about like mashing it with your hands to get the water out, which is going to totally destroy it. So it seems like everyone's packing. It seems like there's a lot of moisture in it. Feels pretty good.
Yeah.
Excellent. Very good. Give everyone a little time here. Clean up here. So while everyone's packing, I wanted to show you guys what it's going to look like in about, I would say, 3 hours. So this is what it looks like in about 3 hours. So as you can see, it's really broken down. It's really wet. So what you kind of get is you'll see it's really breaking down quickly. Becomes a lot easier to pack. Even in 3 hours, you'll notice that the flavor is way different. All right. Okay. Everyone's still packing? Everyone looks pretty good? Excellent. All right. All right, so our next step we're going to do, very easy. What we're going to do is we'll wash our hands real quick. All right. At this point, we're really not touching any of the material. So you can kind of wash your hands because what we're going to be doing is this guy right here. So what you're going to do is this thing has three pieces. Some people that got the airlocks, there's some that's one piece. But basically what we're doing is we're going to be filling the airlock halfway up here with just a little bit of water, just a tiny bit. So go ahead and fill it up. So what you can see is we're just filling a little bit of water halfway up. And then there's a little top you're going to put right on there, like so. And then from there, oh yeah, I'll let everyone kind of do the thing. Cool. So yeah, everyone just fill it up a little bit, and then from here, what you want to do is you want to fill it up, and then you want to put it on your container. So make sure your container is nice and clean on the rim. Make sure your gasket's underneath, and then go ahead and just screw that right on.
How far do we fill up the ones that look like this?
So this one, it's going to be, each one of those are going to be halfway.
So maybe a little more.
Maybe, let's see, show me again. That is fine. That's perfect. As long as they're both filled equally,
okay,
yeah, you're fine. So at this point, what's going to happen is, and I'm sure a lot of people are wondering, well, it's not all under the liquid. Is that going to be an issue? The greatest invention over the last, I would say, 70, 80 years with fermentation is these airlocks. So what this does is it creates, obviously, the anaerobic environment, which is the absence of oxygen or air itself. What it does is whatever is above that's not under the liquid that's fermenting is going to be safe to eat. There's not going to be an issue. What the Koreans used to do back in many years ago was, for safety, they'd have to put weights on top of the kimchi to make sure it was under the cover of the brine. When it comes to health and safety of fermentation, traditionally, as long as all of your contents were under the liquid, they were not going to mold. So these airlocks kind of basically do that without having to have a gap of a weight with a layer of moisture on the top to make it for safety. So these are great. When you do open it up over the next couple days to kind of smell it and investigate what's going on, you can always push it down. You might end up with a little bit of a dry pocket, but over the next couple days, what you'll find is all the CO2 gas for fermentation is going to start heating up all of your kimchi towards the airlock. What you're going to want to do is periodically over the next couple days, open this up, and you're going to want to push down your kimchi again. So as long as you push it down and then put your airlock back on, through this time, the thing about kimchi is you can taste it, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 5. There's really no issue with you experimenting and trying it while it's fermenting. There's no safety issue. I do encourage you to do that. It's a little daunting to start because you're like, hey, this is like rotting food on my counter. It's been here for 3 days. But honestly, it's safe to eat. The rule of thumb with anything fermented is if it smells rancid, it's rancid. If it smells sweet and fine, it's going to be fine. So you really want to use your intuition and your nose to figure out if something is actually fine or if it's not fine to eat. And you will know. You will absolutely know. It's like your basic instinct. So after this point, you're good to go. This is going to be ready to ferment. The one thing you guys want to watch out for, because we are packing these really heavily, is once it starts fermenting, you're going to see your red liquid start to heave up through your airlock. That's totally fine. What you're going to want to do over the next couple days, if it does that, pull out your airlock, clean it up, put it back in there. What I do suggest is put this on a plate so that when it does heave up overnight, all your liquid doesn't end up on your carpet or your floor. It'll end up on the plate because it is going to smell pretty intense once it starts heaving up. So you're just going to want to periodically wash whatever's coming out of this. But if you're losing moisture, it's definitely going to be okay. Any questions anyone has?
I have a question.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of stuff that is left. Can I like add it more once it comes down over the course of days?
you can add it. You can add it, or you can save it to eat it, or you can put it in another container. Since you don't have another airlock, like I was discussing, you'd want to make sure that's under cover. But I would suggest, putting it in your fridge for now. If you end up having more room after it ferments over the couple days, you can definitely add it. But you can definitely eat it over the next couple days as well, for sure.
Makes sense. Thank you.
Thanks, no problem. Excellent. Everyone feels pretty good about this process? Excellent. Awesome. I love it. So honestly, this is just a guideline. Next time you do ferment, choose as much garlic as you want, as much ginger, as much Fresno. You can omit anything. The only guideline is for us is the salt, because if you don't have the salt or not enough, it's just not going to bring those flavors that you're looking for.
For the salt, could you go over the amount that's needed again? The amount of salt,
So the ratio is very simple. It's between 2.5 and 3% to the weight. So
scale.
Exactly. If you don't have a scale, you can kind of look up what either kosher salt or sea salt. What would a tablespoon be in weight? That's another great way to do it. Or you can do it by tasting it. That's kind of what we started to do. As you guys have kind of discovered, you've tasted it. It has a little bit of a salty tooth. That literally is the best way, is to start with a little bit of salt. If you're like, it needs a little bit more, add a little more seasoning. That's literally the best thing to do for your, what you're looking for in a salty tooth. But at this point, you definitely want it to have a little more salt presence to it, for sure.
So too much salt isn't a problem, but too little salt is what you got to look out for.
Well, too much salt, if it's too salty, it's going to be hard to eat it. That's the only issue you got to watch. But if it's under-seasoned, under-salted, you're just not going to taste the garlic, the ginger, the gojugaru. It's going to be muted. And that's literally the only thing that you're gonna have with not enough salt.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Excellent, no problem. So everyone feels pretty good. So here's the other thing, guys. Any questions you have over the next 2 weeks of fermenting, please feel free to reach out to us on our website. That is my number, email. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me to ask questions, just to make sure you guys feel confident about this. But the thing about kimchi is it's something that you're going to want to kind of play with every day and kind of push down. You want to kind of just kind of see where this goes, but you definitely you're going to have to be interactive with it and kind of push every couple days, taste it. You really want to figure out where you want it to be, for sure.
Awesome. And guys, we'll definitely put that information, his number, his email, directly in the Kobu app for Market Central, so you'll have it there as well. And also, if you guys are cool with it, can we do like a group photo of you holding up your jar? If you can like put your video on for it, it'd be awesome. Nice, that's awesome. Cool. Really appreciate you guys taking the time. Thanks, Adam, again for teaching us your ways. And we'd love if you guys can share any feedback. If you can post a photo of your jar to either social or to the Kobu app on that third tab called chat, you'd make our day. We're here all ears for feedback. So we're a local Boston startup. So any ways we can help support, let us know. And hope you guys can join us for, I think the next event that the building is doing is a vegetarian dumplings class. So all the details should be in the Kobu app. And Adam, thank you so much again. And if anyone has questions, we'll keep the line open.
Excellent.
Otherwise, we'll see you soon. And
excellent.
Take care.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So cool.
Thank you. Appreciate everyone. Thank you so much.
So much.
Awesome. Thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you.
I'll still be here for a second if anyone has any questions, though.
And it is awesome that you're in the kitchen there. Super cool.
It's this kitchen's something else, man.
Question regarding the amount. Like, I try to like fill it up as much as possible. Is that okay? Or
That's fine. What the only thing you're gonna have to watch out for is that airlock. If it's touching the liquid, it's just gonna start coming through it over the next couple of days while it ferments. Totally fine. You just want to make sure to put it on a plate so it doesn't get all over, because it will smell. When you wake up and it's like in a pool, your kitchen's gonna stink. It's gonna be you're gonna smell it for sure.
All right, sounds good. Thanks.
Thank you. Excellent.
Awesome. Andy, well, I'm going to sign off.
Awesome.
This was great. Well done. And stay well.
Hey, pleasure. Awesome. Thank you, Ben. You guys have a good one. Awesome. Thank you, Nardos. Have a good one.
Cheers. Thanks, Nardos.